And shalom. Ba, ba, ba. Well, alrighty then. Alrighty then. So I'm getting started a little late today because I thought I had passed the drop zone, but I guess I hadn't quite passed it because the signal dropped as soon as I went live. Nevertheless, welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. I see I got a couple of people in the house, and all of y'all hit the like button while y'all was waiting for me. So all praises to the Most High. I wish you brothers and sisters, whomever it is that's already in the building, been waiting for me, I wish y'all many blessings for showing y'all brothers some love. Let's go. Listen, family, so, as always, get started with a little music. This is probably, is it? Yeah, this is the last road rage for so-called 2020 on the Gregorian calendar. This is the last road rage for this so-called calendar year, right? But since we're looking back at 2020 a little bit and all that, I'm gonna bring it back. I played some old school R&B last week. Before that, the week I played some old school reggae. Before that, I played a couple of my songs. Today, I'm gonna play some old school hip hop. You know what I'm saying? From my hometown, Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Reminisce. Let's get a little bit of that to wake up. Hey, family, it was another tough morning for me getting up, yo. So, I need a little music before I get it going. Just a little bit of music real quick, family. If you're just coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Let's wait for a few more people to come in, and then we get it cracking. We reminiscing on 2020.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October. My toast when my granddaddy came sober. Count all the fingers and the toes. Now I suppose your the little black boy grows. 18 years younger than my mama, but I really got beatings with the girl of trauma. In single parenthood, there I stood. By the time she was 21, had another one. This one's a girl. Let's name her Pam. Same father as the first, but you don't give a damn. Irresponsible, plain not thinking. Papa said chill, but the brother keep winking. Still he won't down, you would tear out your hide. On your side while the baby make a slide. But mama got wise to the game. The youngest of 5 kids, hun, here it is. After 10 years without no spouse, mama's getting married in the house. Listen, positive over negative, for the woman a master. Mother queens rise in the chapter. Deja vu, tell you what I'm gonna do when they reminisce over you, my God, my God. When I think back, I recall a man off the family tree. My right hand, Papa Doc, I see. Took me from a boy to a man, so I always had a father with my biological didn't bother. Taking care of this, so who am I to pick up? Not a bad tinker, but I'm clocking Pop's liver. But you can never say that his life is through. 5 kids at 21, believe he got a right to. Here we go while I check the scene with the Portuguese lover at the age of 14. The same age, front page, no fuss, but I bet you all you know they live longer than us. Never been seen now, that's where you're wrong. But give the man a taste and he's gone. Nodding off sleep to a jazz tune. I can hear his head banging on the wall in the next room. I get the pillow and hope I don't wake him. For this man to cuss, hear it all in verbatim. Telling me how to raise my boy unless he's taking over. I said, Pop, maybe when you're older. We laughed all night about the hookers at the party. My old man standing yelling, good God Almighty. Use your condom, take sips of the brew. Where they reminisce over you, for real. For real, baby. Like that. For real. I reminisce so you never forget this. The days are way back, so many bear witness the fitness. Take the first letter out of each word in this joint. Listen close as I prove my point. T to the R-O-Y, how did you and I meet in front of big blues fighting in the street? But only you saw what took many time to see. I dedicate this to you for believing in me. Rain or shine, yes in any weather. My grandma Pam holds the family together. My Uncle Doc's the greatest, better get the latest. If we're talking about a car, Uncle Sterling got the latest. I strive to be live cause I got no choice and run my own business like my aunt Joyce. So Pete Rock hit me, enough respect to when they reminisce over you. Listen, listen, just listen to the funky songs as I rock on, and as word is born to the one and only. Never be be another? He was my brother. Trouble T. Roy. It's like that, y'all. And it don't stop. Rock is still smooth from 92. And we out.
All right. That's a throw Bizak. Probably before many of y'all was even born, man. I'll never forget that, though. That was like a sad time from where I'm from, man. I'm from, what they call Money Earning, Mount Vernon, New York. And that song was written because if for those of y'all that know a little bit about the old school hip hop, you had Heavy D, right? Back in the days, Heavy D was from Mount Vernon. And, he had Heavy D, you had DJ Eddie F, who I used to go to school with his sister, right? So I remember Eddie F. And you had the two dancers, you know what I'm saying? One of them was called Trouble T. Roy, right? So they went on tour around the time that the song came, right before the song came out, they went on tour. And what happened was Troy fell off the stage and broke his neck and died. I don't know if, many, like I said, this is way before y'all time. And Heavy was never the same after that. You know what I'm saying? It was never the same after that, none of that stuff. So that song was written in memorial to that brother, because him and CL Smooth, the dude that was rapping, used to have beef back in the days. They used to fight a lot and stuff. So when a dude died, sometimes you kind of look back and think about all the time that you squandered being an enemy to somebody that really wasn't your enemy. And a lot of times the beef that you had wasn't really beef. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, of course, when something tragic happens, you got to look back and realize, you should have did things differently. So that's when that song came out. It brings back a lot of memories, not just for that time, but even, when I listen to it sometimes, I even think about stuff or mistakes that I made and enemies that I had before I came into the truth. When I was in school, it's the same thing, It was the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Some of those people are not here anymore. Some of the dudes I went to school with is doing time for life, And some brothers, when I go back home, I still see them standing on the same corners they were standing on when we was in high school. And I'm like, damn, bro. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You guys know what it is. Welcome to another early and morning edition of Maccabeestv. It's your brother, Priest Dan. Represent Maccabeestv and Lions of Israel. You brothers and sisters already know the etiquette. As always, I ask if you are in the house, if you guys could please hit the like button, thumb up the video so we can trigger the algorithm and show YouTube interaction so that they can make a suggestion to other people to tune in. We already know how they do. Smaller channels under 100,000 subscribers don't get the same push as channels above 500,000. The channels that are backed by large corporations or what have you, they get the push in the algorithm. The smaller channels do not. So it's up to the individuals that watch the channel to hit the thumbs up button, or as I always say, the thumbs down too. You're welcome to do that. That triggers the algorithm too. I'm really not, really doesn't bother me for those of y'all that hit it, because guess what? You still listening though, so it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm talking about? So we're coming to the end of so-called 2020, and what a year it was. What a year it was. You should ask yourself and look back on the year and ask yourself, what is it that you accomplished this year for the Most High? Did you give the Most High maximum effort in 2020? That's something that each of us has to examine ourselves and ask. Did you make the most of 2020 and give the Most High maximum effort in terms of pushing and proliferating this word? Because I always tell you, the Bible says through the foolishness of preaching, that's how our people are going to be saved, through the foolishness of preaching. Yes, the Most High could make it where, the elect just wakes up tomorrow and we can get out of here, but that's not the way the Most High ordained it. The Most High ordained it that we're going to sacrifice ourselves, become living sacrifices in many, many aspects. And one of those aspects is through the foolishness of preaching, proliferating this word. Have we done enough? And I think in every one of us, including myself, we can always find areas that we can improve. There's always some more time that you could have gave the Most High that you didn't give him. There's always more that you could do to help proliferate the word in one way or another, or to be a help to somebody proliferating the word if you cannot do it yourself. right? Because you have many people when you read the Gospels that were helps to those that were proliferating the word. We read that in the Gospels. We also read that in the book of Acts. That's why when the sister Tabitha, when she passed away, the disciples and the apostles and all her servants were crying because she was a help to them. So when they saw that sister laying dead, they saw all the help that they were getting was gone. Because believe me, when you in this truth long enough and really immerse yourself in it, you realize that people that really want to help you are few and far between. Lots of lip service in this truth. A whole lot of lip service, a whole lot of, hey, I love what you're doing great and everything. But when it comes down to really helping, especially for brothers and sisters that can't be on the front lines, when it comes to really helping and being of service, that's few and far between and rare. And that was during the time of the apostles, and that's now too. That's why, I don't know, most of us that have a ministry, we appreciate the love. I appreciate all the comments that people give, and you say that what we do helps you. The ministry helps you. I appreciate it. But that only goes but so far for me, as far as I don't even internalize that stuff. It almost doesn't even matter. Because I'm more so looking to the people that help. One way or another. You know what I'm saying? You ask me how it is that you could help. And it ain't always financially, although financially is a big help. You go to the website, thelionsofisrael.com, you hit the donate button, that's a help. You might say to me, hey, you know what, brother? I make garments, or I make this, or, I have this, or I have that. You know what I'm saying? Here, take this and use it for the proliferation of the word, right? Whatever it may be. You offer that help. You might have a skill or a talent that you see that I'm in need of. I might not come to you and say it, but you can see it. Hey, I think I can help this brother this way. And you offer your service to me. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says, if you do something in the name of a prophet, right, you shall likewise receive a prophet's reward. Everybody, I'm not saying I'm a prophet before somebody gets stupid. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But it's the sense of that scripture is the same. If somebody's laboring in the vineyard, in the field, right, and you know that you can't do it for whatever reason, you may have a job where you can't be out on the front lines. You may be far away in another state, halfway across the country, and you can't do but there are things you can do. Brothers and sisters. And sometimes you see what you could do. Hey, you know what? I see that this brother probably needs some help right there. He didn't say, but I can see it. Then you reach out and you offer help. Or not, just sit back and watch, because the work is going to get accomplished one way or another. But that's what was going on during the time of the apostles when they saw that Tabitha had passed away, right? You also read about some of the sisters ministering of their substance to Yahushua and the apostles, right? Christ spoke of Mary of Bethany. He said, wherever this gospel is preached in all the world, we shall speak of the great thing that Mary of Bethany did. She anointed Yahushua for his burial. That was just a thing of comfort that she gave him. Sometimes even that in itself goes a long way. You know what I'm talking about? So I say all that to say that we all have to examine ourselves to see what more we can do, where we fall short, and what more we can do for the Most High, because this has to be our number one. I was having a conversation with a brother yesterday that called me. One of the brothers that's going to be doing, the academy starting next Sunday, and we were talking, and that was kind of something that we were talking about. That if you're in this work has to come first, and you're going to have to deny yourself a whole lot of other things that you may want to do, including personal time. You have to deny yourself for the work's sake, right? Some of you brothers have visions of one day being leaders in Israel. When some of us brothers get too old to do it. Some of you younger brothers coming up, you have visions that one day that's going to be you. But have you really counted the cost to know what goes with it? Because I think that some of y'all think is just turning on a camera, doing a couple of YouTube lessons, and going to camp, and that's it. Man, it's so much more than that. If you have 100 people in your congregation, brother, you got 100 problems. You better believe it. 100 personalities that you got to manage and make everybody get along and work together. It's way more complicated than it looks. Or, like they say, don't try this at home. It's way more complicated than it looks. Just look at a brother that might have a wife and 3 or 4 kids, right? Those 3 or 4 kids have all different personalities, and you got to manage their personalities, and you got to manage your wife's personality and your own personality and make it all work. That's why Christ spoke in the book of Ephesians about marriage being a mystery, right? Because the mystery of it is, if you can't manage your household, you got 3 children and a wife, and you got chaos in your house, you can't run a church. You can't run a congregation. You can't. If you can't manage 4 personalities, you sure as hell can't manage 40. You can't. So your household is a mini congregation. And it reflects on how you would do with something larger. So it's not all it's cracked up to be, but this work is about denying yourself, man. Like the Bible says in Romans 12, becoming a living sacrifice. That goes on many, many, many levels. So as we look back on 2020, we have to ask ourselves, were we a living sacrifice to the best of our ability, to the best of our power, to the best of our strength, or is there more we can do? And as we go forward, whatever it is that we can do more of, we need to do it. Which segues me into something else I was talking about. So we were at camp this Saturday, right? If y'all friends with me on Facebook, or if you follow me on Instagram or the camp page on Instagram, y'all saw the pictures. Your family, it was cold as hell Saturday. I'm talking about, if you from a cold area of prophesying and teaching, you brothers know how it gets, man, where it's so cold, it's hard to find scriptures because your fingers are frozen and you're trying to turn the pages. They're trying to find scriptures. Yeah, it was that cold. But certain brothers, everybody didn't come out. Everybody didn't come out. Some brothers, the cold kind of. But you have certain brothers that are hardcore to the bone. Like, no, we got to be out there. We got to be out there. This is part of sacrificing, but we got to be out there. The Lord's word never goes out in vain. It doesn't matter how cold it is. Somebody gonna stop. And it's really true. And so the reason why I bring it up, before I go further on that, the reason why I bring it up is because I was saying something to some of the brothers while we were out there. And I was saying, as we all been talking about, they're pushing their poison off on everybody, right? They want to get everybody to take that poison. Some of us have enough sense to be skeptical, at the very least, I'll say that, of doing it. But some brothers, not so much. Whatever the mainstream media says, oh, it's not that bad, they're going to run with it. Hey, Most High be with you. But some of us have enough sense to be very skeptical of this poison. But if the powers that should not be, because I don't call them the powers that be, I call them the powers that should not be, because the powers that should be is Israel. We're the ones who are supposed to be ruling the world, but because of our sin, we find ourselves under powers that should not be, particularly Esau, right? And so I was talking to brothers saying the powers that should not be, if they were to have their way, we all know they're trying to push the poison, and there's also records that you took the poison or not, right? Like certifications or whatever they're talking about that they have out there, there are records out there. And it may come to a point where the people that decided or holding out like they ain't taking the poison, you may not be able to go and congregate in open spaces like that anymore. I'm not prophesying, I'm saying it could happen. We know that Dr. F, I'm gonna call him Dr. F, has spoke about poison certificates, people having those certificates to prove they was poisoned. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it might come to a point, hypothetically, let's just say, where we're out in the highways and byways prophesying, and they roll up on us and be like, yo, present your certifications that you guys been poisoned. It might come to a point where we're not able to do that. We don't know what's going to happen. Only the Lord knows what's going to happen, right? Only the Most High could see that far down the road. But the point is that while we are not there yet, we're not at that point or place yet, while we're all still able to go, then we need to go. Even though it's bone chilling cold, we need to go. Somebody will stop. Somebody will listen. The Most High already assured us of that. We need to go because the time is going to come where we may not be able to go anymore. Some of us, or all of us, on the highways and byways anymore. The Bible says the famine of the word is coming. Not for lack of bread, but for the word. That's coming. Where we'll have to be way more creative with getting the word out, which is what we used to do when I first came into the truth anyway. Before the internet and all that other stuff, we fly missions and there's a lot of other ways to get the word out. Remember, Yahushua sent the disciples out in twos. We may have to come back to that. We don't know. But I was telling brothers, I was like, I'm glad we're out here. Although we're freezing our behind off, right? Brothers is out there. If you ever saw a penguin waddling back and forth, that's, you're standing there, it's cold. You can feel the cold through your boots. It was that type of cold, right? But we were happy to stay out there. Although, after a while, we started counting down. It seemed like the brothers that had the better coats on was the brothers that wanted to stay out longer. You know what I'm saying? Deacon Aishiah had a nice coat on, so he wanted to stay out longer. He was in the spirit, When I teach, like when it's really cold and I go out to camp and I teach, I'm a considerate speaker, right? Some brothers, when we go out to camp and it's cold, you ain't considerate. I'm a considerate speaker. What do I mean by that? Meaning that if it's really cold, like it's below 25 degrees and we say we're going to camp, I ain't gonna really pull precepts, I'm gonna pull chapters. So we're gonna go through all of Proverbs chapter 1. We're gonna go through all of Matthew 20. I'm gonna do something where you could just stay in that chapter unless I'm really burning for a precept, but I ain't gonna have you all over the place and have your fingers practically falling off, like when they're numb. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a chapter that has a little bit of everything in it and just stay there. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of my reader. But some brothers, boy, you got more precepts when it's cold than when it's hot. It's all good though, it's all good. Anyway, yeah, so the time might come where we're not able to go out there. So that's the reason why we go out there, regardless, and like I said, the Most High always makes somebody stop. And it's really, what's really crazy is where we speak at camp, where we speak at is like a chief place of concourse. It's a shopping area. And in that shopping area, you have a lot of rehab facilities in that shopping area. There's at least two rehab facilities, right? And so even though it was cold, you had our people out there that was shopping, but all the fiends, all the people that's in rehab was out. They were everywhere. And for some reason, the fiends, the people that's in rehab was stopping in front of the camp and scoffing on Saturday. That's what the majority of it was. We had a lot of scoffers on Saturday. One particular sister, she was a scoffer. She scoffed for like an hour. I had to ask, where was the energy coming? It was cold as hell. And you yelled at the top of your lungs, going crazy. But I already know it was the drugs, right? But she was going crazy for like an hour. And what's so sad is that a lot of our people in this world star hip hop, YouTube, shock culture, trying to go viral with a video environment that we live in, of course, when you see somebody that's half strung out their mind standing in front of us while we're preaching the word and they're yelling and they're screaming and they're going crazy, of course, you had a lot of our people that was stopping to do what? To pull out their cell phones, to get some footage. They thought it was funny to put it on the internet, right? And then you had some of our people that stopped, that understood what was going on and took some flyers because they understood what we was doing was good, right? And I want to talk about the people that was stopping to film us because they thought it was funny. See, what the people don't understand is that we have compassion on our people. We don't go out in the street. This is one of the things that's always put on us, but it's a lie. We're not out in the streets to beat our people down. We don't go out in the streets to curse our people out. That's a lie. No. We're out there fishing for the elect, and we don't know who the elect is. So we just go out there and allow the word of the Lord to take its course. And so when people stop, when people are walking by, they don't know what's happening. All they know is they happen to walk by at a time when you see a woman that's a drug addict, right? It was clear she was a drug addict. You could see that. It was her and her significant other, or whoever that dude was with him. The dude was so strung out of his mind, and we have some of it on video. I don't think I'm gonna put it up on YouTube though. We have some of it on video. The dude was doing the Michael Jackson the whole time. This dude was doing all them damn moves out of Thriller. He was so high, he couldn't stay still. I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. This dude was dancing the whole time for like an hour. And she was yelling at us for like an hour. So now those of our people that come out there to go shopping, right, on a Sabbath, they don't know what the hell is going on. So we're out there preaching the word, and they come and they see this, and it's entertainment to them, so they pull their cell phone out. Because in their mind, they're thinking that we're in a confrontation or altercation with the sister, when we were actually telling the sister, like, listen, get yourself together. That's pretty much what we were telling her. Get yourself together and come back later. You know what I'm saying? You got spirits on you, the whole nine. But we wasn't really cursing our people. We don't really do that, because I understand what's happening. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I want y'all to really to listen to what I'm saying. I took the microphone and I told some of the people that was standing, I said, let me tell y'all something, man. I said, the only difference between this brother, this sister that's high and strung out their mind, and us back here with these Bibles that's teaching, the only difference between us and them is the word. That's it. It's the word. And y'all are laughing and think this thing is funny about these people that's strung out on drugs, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. You don't understand Isaiah 33:6. Isaiah 33:6, I'm paraphrasing, says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your time. See, when you see a person strung out on drugs or alcohol, a lot of times it's what they call an escapism. They went through something in their life, or they were going through something in their life that they were not strong enough to deal with. And so that alcohol and that drug became a crutch to take them away from reality. That's what it is. And sometimes those drugs are so strong, they destroy your brain cells, they destroy your mind, and you're never the same after that. You didn't want to be a drug addict, you didn't want to be, but you didn't know how to handle that stress that you were going through. You didn't know how to handle it. So you turned to drugs. And what I told the people is, listen, y'all don't know what's getting ready to happen. Y'all don't know what hell is getting ready to happen on this earth. And some of y'all that's pulling out your cell phones right now, that's making mockery of these people, are the same ones that when you really see what's getting ready to go down, some of you gonna lose your mind too. Some of you gonna turn to drugs, some of you gonna turn to the bottle, and some of you are gonna turn to violence. And that's what separates us from everybody else. We're not better than everybody else, but the Bible says wisdom and knowledge will be our stability, meaning it is only the word of God that keeps us, many of us, from losing our mind. Because we already know what's going to happen. The Bible also says the Most High said he will keep them in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him. So those of us that know this truth and know what's happening and why it's happening, and why the Most High is bringing all this hell on this world, is because Israel is next. We got next. So this kingdom has to fall. We understand what we're seeing, so we don't bug out. We're not going to be in the streets going crazy, going wild, if there's ever a shortage of food or water. If martial law is declared, we understand why. We understand everything. It's only through the word of the Most High. Why? That's what separates us, brothers and sisters. And when I look at people like that was in front of the camp, I see myself. I see myself. Because I always tell y'all, I had a rough life. You could never tell by looking at me. I had a bad life. After 12 years old, my life was horrible, man. Once my father was killed in the streets. My father was in the streets, he was killed. And after that happened, my life was never the same. It was a downhill spiral from there. And then then when I lost my mother at a young age too, it was a wrap. I was in the streets. It was a wrap. I didn't have no direction, no guidance, no nothing. My family didn't take me in, nothing. I was on my own as a young dude. Streets. That's what happened to me. And it was only at that time, at the Most High, the one thing that was my saving grace was I liked to make music. And that's how I ran into at a young age. At 19 years, I ran into brothers that were Israelites. I started off as a 5%er, and I ran into brothers. And I came into the school, and the school put me up. They gave me some place to live. I was in the streets. I was sleeping on the trains. I tell y'all that all the time. Ain't nobody come with no goddamn silver spoon into this truth. It was the truth and the brothers that saved my life. Why I didn't enter into a life of crime or drugs, whatever. It was the truth. It was the word. So when I have people standing in front of me that's strung out, cursing me out, whatever, because they're high on drugs, that I go to camp. But it's a lie that we go out there because we hate our people. I see myself in them because that could have been me if it wasn't for the word. It's only the word that separates me from them, and I will never forget that. I'll never forget that. That could have been me. That's why we go in the streets. That's why. Because there's somebody else that needs to hear this word, that needs to see us. The Bible says your teacher shall not be removed into a corner anymore. Somebody needs to see us. People don't go to the internet looking for the Israelites. They go to the internet for folly. Sometimes they get an Israelite suggestion in their recommendations and they come across the truth online. But some people never come across this truth online. They see us in the streets. That's where I first saw the Israelites, in the streets. I'm not knocking nobody that doesn't do camp. I'm trying to help people understand. Those of y'all that hate the street teaching, you don't know what you're talking about, man. The street teaching saved my life. By me seeing brothers in the street, although I didn't come in at that time, when I finally came in, I recognized who the Israelites were because I saw them in the streets first. So it was a progression. The way the Most High set the whole thing up, it was a progression. That's why we go in the streets, because our people need us. And I looked at that brother, and I was telling brothers, I was like, some of these people, if the Lord gives the power, some of these people, we're going to have to heal them. We're going to literally do what Yahweh Shalom did, lay hands on them and get them demons out. We ain't got the power to do that yet. But some of our people, we may have to do that. So we don't look down on our people like that. I don't. I'm more get upset when a scoffer is not a drug addict and you just being an ASS. Those are the scoffers that I get mad at. But the ones that's high, man, I don't know what their trauma was. I'm not making an excuse for it. But I'm gonna have some compassion and mercy on my people too, because nobody else does. Nobody cares about them. And by the way, it also proves with all them damn fiends that are out there, ain't none of them suffer from coronavirus. Damn, I wasn't supposed to say that word, right? I wasn't supposed to say that word. And none of them suffer from the Rona. That should be the first community that's dropping dead if it was so bad. Is all these homeless drug addicts on the streets, and like I said, there's 2 rehab centers where we teach. So you got fiends everywhere. It was like Night of the Living Dead, and they were all stopping in front of the camp on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, the regular Negro is scared of the cold, but the feet, I don't know what it is, whatever that thing is. I guess it makes you warm or something. I don't know. Y'all can tell me. But they was out there. Coats unzipped and everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah. That's why we're in the streets. And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all a story, right? I'm gonna tell y'all. I've said it before. I'll tell you the story again, right? I used to work at a place in Queens. That was the last job I had in New York before I moved out. I used to work in a place in Queens, and I always tell you that entire place was run by the people that wear the small hats. They ran that place. And this time of year, right, so-called Christmas, pagan holiday, the owner of the company would come down from his ivory tower to be amongst the peasants. And I've already told y'all that they suspected that something was different about me because I wasn't like the rest of the Negroes. When they would buy food, I wouldn't eat it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do none of that stuff. I would sit on the side. So they knew I was different. I already told y'all. They would question me like, yo, what's up with you? something different about you. We don't know. We're going to figure it out. Whatever. I already told y'all that story, but I'm going to tell you about the last pagan Christmas that I worked there before I resigned. So the owner would come down from his ivory tower every so-called Christmas, right? And he would come down from his ivory tower because he worked us like slaves. And then every so-called Christmas, he comes down with bonus money, right? And let me tell y'all something. Any of you over-righteous Negroes that your job is offering you bonus money and you don't want it, could you do me a favor, please, with your over-righteous self? Could you please take the donation money, the bonus money, and come to my website, The Lions of Israel, hit the donate button. I'll take it. Because I need it for the ministry. I need it for the ministry. And some brothers be over-righteous. Yeah, I took the damn money. You damn right. This dude worked me like a slave all year. Yes, I took the money. Yeah, I took the damn money. You damn right. Anyway, he would come down from his ivory tower, and of course he wants to give you the envelope in your hand and talk to you. Of course. So he comes down and he's talking to everybody, and I'm looking at the dude like, man, just give me the envelope so I could go, or I'm just trying to find a reason to cut it short, like, hey, I got someplace to be. But he ain't. Listen, if he giving you that money, he got the damn death grip on the money. He's not giving you that money till he talked to you for a couple of minutes, right? So I'm in the corner, minding my business, talking to one of my coworkers, and he comes over, starts making conversation, and he hands me the check. I'm like, good, I'm out. He's like, hold on a second, Dan. I'm like, what's up? He starts asking me personal questions. Y'all know the small hat people are very nosy. They have 1,001 questions. They want to know everything about you, but they especially want to know everything about me because they said, okay, I'm gonna take it back for a second, right? One of them wanted to be black. One of them so-called small hats wanted to be black. So he kind of hung around us. So he would tell me things. He would be like, yo, they talk about you. And he told me that they said don't speak Hebrew in front of me because I could pick up what they're talking about. He told me this. So I already knew that these guys were all looking at me. They wasn't looking at nobody else. They was looking at me. And I tried to tone it down. I didn't say much about nothing at work because, I'm just trying to pay my bills. That's it. Right? Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Anyway, going back to the story. So he hands me my check and he starts talking to me. And I don't know, man. I guess the spirit got on him where he says to me, he's like, so what you doing for Christmas? I said, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate the thing. So he didn't probe that, right? So he said, you mean to tell me you're not going to go be with your mom and your dad and stuff like that? So I basically said, my mom and my dad, I don't have a mother and a father. I said, my mom and my dad are deceased. He was like, really? Recently? I said, no. I said, they died when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? He looks at me and says, and you didn't kill nobody? That's what he said. Just like that. He said, you didn't kill nobody? And I said, no. Because that's what they expect. They expect for our people to act out. Either now you have an excuse because you had a tough childhood. Now you have an excuse to go out and be a criminal. That's what they expect. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Or if you don't go out and kill your own people or sell drugs to your own people, then you're going to be a drug addict. They expect one of the two. So he couldn't understand. I guess his small hat was too tight on his head. I don't know what it is. He couldn't understand why I didn't do one or two. I didn't do A or B. He couldn't understand it because that's what he expected. So that showed me who he was. And my coworkers was just sitting there with their mouths open like, I can't believe he said that. And I'm like, believe it. I said, because that's how he look at y'all and me. I said, but the difference is I know it, y'all don't. Y'all think that they're your friends because they smile in your face once a year and give you some goddamn food. And by the way, it was nasty Chinese food every year, the same thing. And it gives you the same bonus every year. And it works you like a slave the next day. Like it never happened. I said, the difference is I expect it. I understand that. And their energy is reading my energy. And that's why they feel like, because they didn't ask you that. They didn't ask you about your mother and your father. They didn't ask, but they asked me all these personal questions. Because it's the spirit. You understand what I'm saying? It's a certain spirit because that's what they expect for us to do. So going back to what I was saying before, when these people stand in front of me at camp with these problems and everything like that, I understand what it is, man, because it could have been me. So I give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, and for his son, Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, make an intercession for us, because my stuff could have been way different, but there was something, I don't know what it is, at the Most High saw in me that he didn't want me to go down that road or suffer that. I don't know what it is. That's why I laugh to myself when I hear people talking about how the Most High is only dealing with certain people. You know, if you knew where I come from and what the Most High pulled me out of, you don't know. You don't know people's testimony, man. And you can't look at a man's countenance and tell his testimony either. Some people will look at me and think that I just had a great life. If only you knew. But the Most High saw something in me to pluck me out of, you know, where I could have went with it. Because like I said at the beginning of the show, a lot of people that I went to school with is either still on the corner right now, some of them is dead, and some of them is in prison. I got 2 Facebook pages. I have my Facebook page where I deal with Israel, and I have a Facebook page where I still keep contact with some people I used to work with and some people I used to go to school with. And when I see what's going on with them, man, my second Facebook page is like a cemetery, man. Ain't nothing going on with the people I went to school with. Nothing. So I realized that they may have had a better life than me when we was young, but ultimately I have a better life than them now because I know the truth. I'm in perfect peace with what's happening. They're over there arguing about Biden and Trump and this and that and the third, and I know what's happening. I've tried to talk to some of them. They don't want to hear it. So I realized it's not meant for them. They may not be of the elect. See, the Most High turned something that was upside down, right side up. It's because of this truth I understand why the Most High brought me through what he brought me through at a young age, because I'm going to be a buffer for other people that's going to come into this truth, that's going to experience. I know grown by, like I said before, one of my cousins is like 50 years old. And this dude looked me in my face and said to me, at 50 years old, his mother's still alive. She's like, got to be pushing 80. No, she got to be in her 80s at least. And he told me when his mother died, he said he going to fall into the ground with her at 50 years old. And I'm looking at this like, I don't want to say no 4 or 5 letter words. But I said, MF, I said, man, you a beta male. Just like that, I said, you're a beta. I said, I manned up at that shit at 12. And you telling me what? You was a beta male. And of course, he got mad because this is a big dude, man. He used to be a boxer, you know, the Golden Gloves. So, you know, I took a chance right there saying that to that dude. But it is what it is, man. I said, you a beta. I don't give a damn how good you can fight, whatever, you're a beta. Because it's not all about how you can fight or how strong you are and everything. I'm talking about in your spirit, man. That alpha male and beta male thing, a lot of that stuff is in the spirit. A lot of dudes be big and strong for nothing. Big for nothing, like I told y'all last week. Big for nothing. You can fight, you strong, you can bench press 300, 400, 500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But then, man, you guys are like, man, you guys shrink like a shrinking violet. The minute that some stress or something come in your life, you're like a shrinking violet. It's ridiculous. Pardon me. I went off on a tangent there. That has nothing to do with y'all. I was my cousin, but I'm just saying, men like that make me sick. But ultimately, like I was saying, the Most High brought me through that so that I can help somebody else and strengthen somebody else that's going to come in with those type of problems or others, right? Or when we go out in the highways and the byways, sometimes we have people that come in front of us that tell us that they're going through different things, and we give them scriptures. There was one young man that was out there this week. I think he was 17 years old. He stopped in front of the camp, and the dude is straddling the fence between gangbanging or not, right? So the young man came to us and he told us, he said, yo, man, I need a Bible. Now, we didn't have an extra Bible to give away because none of us wanted to give away our Bibles. But the young man is going to come back next week. He said if he wants us to bring him a Bible, right? 17 years old. Dude got tattoos all over his face already at 17, all over his face. About to go down the wrong road. But he came out the house on a Saturday and saw us standing out there preaching the word. And for some reason, the Most High brought him out there to listen to us. And he said he's going to come back next week for his Bible. Now, he may or he may not. But that's why we're out there. That's why. Anyway. Enough of that. Enough of that. So you guys get the understanding, man. You know, so, hey, man, support the troops, family. And I'm not saying, listen, y'all know I don't really do no self aggrandizing on this channel. I'm not telling you got to support Lions of Israel. It'd be great. Our website is thelionsofisrael.com. Any donation will help, but you may like other camps better. Just support them. See, that's what other camps will never do that I do. I don't tell you not to support other people. I don't tell you that we're better than everybody else. Because that's crazy. I say support the troops, whomever. Or any camp could use the finances, brothers and sisters. Just make sure that you know, the scriptures say if you're doing good, just know who you're doing it to. Make sure you examine and make sure that you know what you're giving is going to go into the right place and not into the leader's pocket. That's all. If you know that, you understand that, and you can help in whatever way, help out. Because we do stuff like that. When we go out and we give those flyers out, we're making those copies. Y'all know copies, when you start making lots of copies, that becomes expensive. You know what I'm saying? We give away Bibles. We just didn't have one that Saturday. We give them away. They're not free. They used to have the free Bibles in the hotels. The hotels don't even have the free Bibles no more. So we always could use the help. Anyway, let's switch subjects just for a second, if I could. So we had an interesting, well, not we, because I didn't participate. There was an interesting conversation that took place on this channel yesterday. I don't know if if everybody saw it or didn't see it. So there was a panel of brothers. Some of the brothers weren't able to make it. There should have been more brothers on there. But there was a panel of brothers on the channel yesterday. And the topic was, what is it that the black man, which is the Israelite man, but the reason why we named it the black man is because I have people that watch this channel that are not yet fully awoken, or they're in transition. So we made it as the black man wants or expect from the black woman as far as being a wife. And we touched on that show yesterday, and it was very interesting. You know, of course, Brother Joel went all the way in. You know, Joel is a fire starter, flamethrower, man. He likes to bring the controversy. So, you know, people were getting a little, as my man Kevin Samuel said, people were getting a little triggered. But it was an interesting conversation, nevertheless. So let's talk about that just for a second. So this is a major conversation that's going on. Okay, let me see something. Don't mind me. I think I could fit right there. I'm gonna wait. So this is a major conversation that's going on in our community right now. We know that marriage in our community, as far as, I'm going to use the terms of the day, so-called black men and so-called black women, we know that marriage is pretty much non-existent in our community at this point, right? We know that our children do not grow up seeing the mother and the father in the household. They don't grow up seeing that. We all know that. You know, through the CIA, through feminism, the women's movement in the 70s that recruited our women to help the white woman fight her fight against her man, indoctrinated many of our sisters, and that was passed down from generations to now where we, so-called black men and so-called black women, see each other as the enemy. We see each other as the enemy, right? And our children, and there's now been several generations of them, don't grow up seeing a mother and a father in the household for a lot of reasons, right? So this is a major conversation that needs to be had. Now, those of us that are in the truth, as far as us being Israelites, brothers and sisters, we have guidelines that are in the Bible that teaches us how to interact with each other. And we're all repenting and we're all coming back to our nationality, to our heritage, right? And so we're trying to conform ourselves to what the Bible says as far as relationships are concerned, which is good. But we still have a lot of work to do, which is something I've been touching on, you know, here and there for weeks with you brothers and sisters. Partially because I've done marriage counseling and I've had some bad experiences doing it, you know, with some Israelites that are not applying scriptures, but that's not for now. So we had that panel yesterday, and what inspired the panel is I noticed that a lot of people are catching on to the brother Kevin Samuels. I've been watching him for a year now, for like a year. And what a lot of people don't know, the first thing is that a lot of sisters are just coming on to him now because of that interaction with that sister where he told her she's average at best. And that kind of triggered everybody. But what people don't know is that if you go back like 8 to 10 months, before he started talking to the sisters, he was talking to the men. And he was just as direct with the men as you see him being with the women now. And what I found is that he makes some very, 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 very poignant points that I've experienced in my life way before I ever came across his show, but he's just articulating it to an audience that doesn't deal with the Bible. You have to remember, again, I said that we as Israelites, we have guidelines written for us in the scriptures that tell us how to interact. A lot of our people, men and women, they don't have guidelines. If they're not dealing with the scriptures, they don't have guidelines. They have no blueprint on what it should look like between a man and a woman. What is the blueprint? Because many of our mothers weren't married to our fathers. Or if they were married, they didn't stay married, you know, and so forth and so on. And our aunties and our this and all that, we didn't see that, right? So outside the truth I'm talking about. So there's no blueprint outside the Bible. So the brothers having these conversations with our people on a more secular level, but it's definitely a needed conversation nonetheless. Because if our people get themselves together per adventure and we all play the role that the Most High set up for us, some of those same people will eventually come into the truth. It may lead them to the truth. And so we had this conversation yesterday on the channel, or I should say they had the conversation. I wasn't involved. And I know that some of the things that the brothers said, I noticed some of the sisters took offense. Like as I'm wake up this morning, I'm seeing, I didn't even go look at the comments yet, but I'm looking and seeing, I'm getting a lot of comments. I'm pretty sure some people didn't like some of the things that was being said. You know, not everything is for everybody. But this is what I am going to say to my sisters, right? I know that some of the things that you're hearing from what's described as the manosphere, because I be seeing a lot of Israelite women over in the manosphere. I be seeing y'all I see y'all come. I told you I'm a sentinel. I'm everywhere. If you don't know what hey, before I go any further, man, let's get some of these likes up. What's going on? I just parked out. I didn't even look. I'm just talking. Let's get some of these likes up, family, please, or dislikes if that makes you feel better. Yeah, a lot of sisters be over in the manosphere. What's the manosphere? The manosphere is a group of men, I don't know how many, so it's a lot of them, that have YouTube channels. And a lot of these men are speaking about the relationship overall between, I'm going to use the word, between black men and black women. And a lot of these dudes are very direct and very rough around the edges in terms of the things that they say about our sisters, which is why a lot of their channels haven't taken off the way Kevin Samuels' channel has taken off, because he is more polished. He has better, what they call soft skills, which is why a lot of women are being drawn to his channel. And I see a lot of you Israelite women over there too. And he's saying the same things that we're saying for the most part, not everything, because he got some stuff. There's some stuff that he's saying that's off. He's telling our women that they should be having sex before they're committed to a man and all that. We don't promote that. But he's saying a lot of things over there that are biblical, that are true, that we say. I don't know why you need to go over there to get it, but maybe that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Now, as I said, I noticed, because I was watching the comments and everything, and some of the sisters were, you know, a little, it seems to, this is what I'm going to say. You know, as men, and he says this all the time too, as men grow up being more realistic in terms of who and what they are, what their limitations are, what their shortcomings are. We grow up being more realistic about these things because we're told that our entire life, okay? You know, as little boys, you want to participate in sports. So you go and you try out for teams. And most of our boys try out for the basketball team, the football team, the baseball team, and you get told no because you're not good enough. So as a little boy, you get told you're not good enough as a little boy. You're not tall enough. You're not strong enough. You're not this. You're not that. You get told that, so you are used to, and after a while, as a young man, you kind of come to the realization of who and what you are. This is what it is. This is who I am. I'm not, tall as him. I'm not as strong as him. I'm not as this. I'm not as that. So you come to the realization of who you are. You don't have nobody rubbing your back, telling you things about yourself that's not true, right? As men, especially in the world, you approach women more than women approach you. And so when you approach women, you realize, okay, you know what? The woman will tell you, I'm not interested in you. Why not? You ain't tall enough. You don't make enough money. You don't have a car. You don't have this. You don't have that. So you get told your shortcomings your entire life. So you kind of get used to being told the truth. But boy, our sisters, the minute that you start speaking truths to some of our sisters, hopefully not the ones that watch this channel, not our good Israelite sisters, but the minute you start telling our sisters some true things, all of a sudden you are a male chauvinist. You are toxic masculinity. Okay, you are misogynist. You are all these things for speaking simple truths, because a lot of times as young women and even growing into womanhood, a lot of our sisters are not told the truth. You're not given the truth. So when you finally meet somebody that tells you the truth, it's jarring, it's shocking. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. Don't mind me. I'm looking. So it is free parking today because of so-called Christmas. Okay. They're going to give us all of that through New Year's. All right. All right. Now I feel better. I ain't got to spend no money on parking today. Nice. All right. So, yeah, a lot of our sisters are not used to hearing truths. So when people speak truths to you, things that you sisters observe in other sisters yourselves, but when men start speaking truths, we start getting hit with all these labels. Not that it matters, because it doesn't matter. We got to speak the truth regardless. I'll give you guys a perfect example, right? Going back to the same job that I had, that I was talking to you guys about a minute ago. There was a young lady that worked on that job. We worked together for years, right? And she was a mother of two. She's a mother of two. But a very kind, sweet spirit. Outside the fact that she did not want to accept his truth. I would tell her about it. She didn't want to accept his truth. But she was a very kind and sweet person. Outside of that, it was cool to work with her. So we had a good relationship to the point where she didn't want to accept the truth, but she still clung to me. And not in terms of her wanting to deal with me or us dealing with each other, but there was something about my spirit that she took to where she clung to me, like she used to call me her best friend and everything. I don't know why, but she just did. You know what I'm saying? If there was any female on the job that said anything sideways, she's ready to knock their head off, just because. And there was nothing sexual with us or anything. I don't know what it was, but she just looked at me like her big brother. She said, we don't believe in this whole godfather thing, and that's not an Israelite custom. It's not, right? But she would call me her children's godfather. And I'm like, man, we work together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your daughters are beautiful. She had 2 daughters. You're beautiful and everything, but but she was like, yeah, you're their godfather. Just like that, just gave it to me. Anyway, so we had that type of relationship. So I thought that we had the type of relationship where I could tell her the truth. So I speak freely. I'm not trying to get with you. So therefore, when we have a conversation about anything, I'm gonna speak freely. And so I don't know how we got on the subject, but we were talking and she got her pride kicked in, because even though she was a mother of 2, she was the type of person where her figure bounced right back. You couldn't even look at her until she had kids, because she bounced right back. So she was bragging. I don't know how we got on the subject. And it wasn't just me. It was a conversation amongst a few of us, not just me and her. And she started bragging about how many guys try to talk to her every day. She was just going in like, whatever. Like, I'm a mother of 2 and I still look good, and everywhere I go, what I'm saying, men is trying to talk to me and everything. And I just made a side. Y'all could tell me, listen, I will take the correction this morning. Y'all could tell me if I was disrespectful. She was just going on and on about it. So once she was finished, I simply looked at her and said, that's every female. That's all I said. That's 3 words. I said, that's every female. Man, if you look at her face, you could have swore that I called her the B word. She was devastated that I said that. Devastated. You could see it in her eyes. Devastated. She was like, why you gotta say that for? Was I wrong to say that? Y'all tell me if I was wrong to say that. Because it's the truth. And I didn't even really say it the way I needed to say it. I needed to tell her, you ain't special. Dudes try to talk to every female that they see. Because the odds are, if they talk to 10 females, one of them is going to give them the number. So it's not because you special. It's not because you extra fine. It's not because of none of that. Dude tried to talk to you because it's just a matter of odds. If he tried to talk to 10 females that day, one of them is going to give him some play. He just hoping that it's you. I didn't even say all of that. I didn't. I just said that's everybody. And she asked me, why'd I have to say that? Why you say that for? She was mad as hell. Why? Because she's not used to people or men speaking the truth. No matter how you frame it, no matter how nice I packaged it, she didn't want to hear the truth because in her mind, she was special and different from all the rest of the sisters because so many men try to talk to her. And what I really want, well, you know what, I'll leave it there. Then I look on Instagram and these females on Instagram that have the tens of thousands and 50,000 and 100,000 followers on Instagram, which, by the way, we all know that there's websites where you can buy your followers. You can buy followers. Don't be enamored when you see somebody, these Instagram models and whatever having 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. Family, a lot of times they buy their followers. You can buy followers. You can buy likes. You can buy comments. So don't be impressed by what you see on social media. You can buy subscribers on YouTube. You can buy all that. I don't know if y'all know that. So I'm not impressed. But some of them be having these followers and they post these thirst trap pictures. And the dudes do it too. Some of you dudes do it too. We ain't just gonna get on the sisters. Some of these dudes be on Instagram posting thirst trap pictures too, looking halfway homosexual in a picture. You know what I'm saying? With your shirt buttoned halfway down, with your taco meat showing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You be doing it too. And then because you get a couple of 100 likes and a couple of people on the comment board, the little emoji with the heart eyes and everything. Now nobody can tell you nothing. You just the SHIT, right? But my thing is, like, I'll be trying to tell some of these people, I'm like, listen, it's not the amount of people that like your picture. It's not the amount of people that tell you that you're beautiful. It's not the amount of guys that's in your DMs. It's the one thing that you're missing. It's the quality, not the quantity. Because you might have 25, 30, 50 Negroes in your DM trying to talk to you, right? But if you got 50 dudes trying to talk to you, probably 45 of them is Pookie. And maybe only 5 is actually quality dudes. But you don't let your head get gassed up because it doesn't matter. They're in your inbox and like 50 other females' inbox too. So we can't get caught up in stuff like that. But when you speak these truths to our sisters, and then why do they like you? Is it because of what you have on? Is it because 50% of your pictures you got your behind, you leading with your behind and you looking back? Like, what is it about? You know what I'm saying? What is it? You got to you have to factor in all these things. And these are conversations that the brother's having on his channel now with the sisters. And it's spurring a lot of controversy. And so we kind of had a conversation like that on the channel yesterday. It kind of led to us talking about it yesterday on the channel, right? Where we had some brothers on, and these brothers don't have wives at the moment, and they were talking about some of the things that they're looking for in our women, and some of our sisters got a little, as they say, triggered by what was being said. Because a lot of our sisters are coming from the world. I've even met sisters in this Israelite way of life that told me that before they came into the truth, they were feminists. I've had sisters say that. Guess what? Some sisters that say that to me, in all honesty, you're still a feminist. You just don't know it. You haven't let go of some of that stuff yet. You haven't fully repented yet. Because nothing that was said yesterday should trigger you, should upset you. Because everything that was said was based on scriptures. Right? It was based on scriptures. I expect more of that from sisters that's in the world, to be offended by a brother saying that he's the head of the household and that you got to submit to your husband. If you are in this way of life and you don't know that you should submit to your husband, you are in the wrong place. You should be over there on Sinetta's platform with Kemet. You're in the wrong place. I don't see why that would trigger any Israelite woman at all. I don't see it. And guess what? When I was sitting on the couch with Jabari, what did I tell him? What did I tell him? Some of them Kemetic females is hungry for alpha males too. Because a lot of them dudes over there got beta spirits also. Our women are hungry for leadership. The ones that's right in the spirit. And even some of those sisters over there, they don't have the knowledge. But in the spirit, they're ready to be submissive to a man. But you would need to be a man but you have to be a man that a woman feels comfortable submitting to you, because some of you brothers are not there. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, which is why next Sunday we're gonna bring a panel of sisters on to speak about these things. Some of the things that they're looking for in a husband, because there's a lot of you sisters out there that have no covering. You have no husband. You have no covering at all. Some of you are individualites, right? You by yourself. So you have no covering. When you read about our sisters in the Bible, even the great sisters, they all had coverings. Esther had a covering. They had coverings. They had some male or somebody that they were dealing with that was a covering to them. And some of you sisters don't have that. And you're not in good condition, despite what you think. I'm telling you, when this society breaks down, all you sisters that are by yourself, you have no covering, everything, you're going to be looking for a covering. You're gonna be looking. Your standards are gonna drop real fast. I don't expect them to drop all the way to the ground, but you're gonna be a lot more realistic when that time comes. You know what I'm saying? When if there's shortages of food and all that, if there's violence in the streets and you're scared, you're gonna become a lot more realistic in that time. But some of you do want to submit to a man, but you just don't know what you know. You say that you can't find these things, so forth and so on. And some of you brothers are not really on a level to be submitted to yet. That's just real talk. And so if the people in the world are having this conversation and they're not in the truth, more so those of us that are in the truth need to be having this conversation. Because every woman in Israel that wears a head covering will tell you, if you ask her, if I was to take a poll of all the sisters in Israel, 95% of them would tell me that they are a Proverbs 31 woman. And we went over that yesterday. A Proverbs 31 woman is not a woman that wears a head wrap and a long skirt. That is not a Proverbs 31 woman. That is a modest woman. There's a difference. There is a difference. Let's be clear. A Proverbs 31 woman is a woman that is industrious. That's what the Bible says. Read about her. Go back and read that again. It doesn't commend her for wearing a head wrap and a long skirt. That's a modest woman. That's great. That's wonderful. A Proverbs 31 woman is industrious. So that's a goal that you should be striving to achieve. And the same thing with the brothers. Right? Every brother makes himself up and down that you are an Abraham, and you're not. That's something that you have to work your way up to, so a woman will be willing to submit to you. Sarah called Abraham Lord, but she called him Lord because he was worthy of that. And that's what we have to strive to do. So we have to have these conversations to make each other better. So we had the brothers on this Sunday. It says my battery is 20%, but I got to go in soon anyway. So, We had the brothers on this Sunday. If you did not see the video, you guys can go back and watch the video. It's on the channel. We did it yesterday. I'll probably be reposting it to Facebook today. So y'all can go check that out. Most High will, next Sunday, we're going to have the sisters on. And we're going to have pretty much the same conversation. And then we'll try to have a meeting of the minds. See, Israel, there's a lot of things to talk about where we don't have to argue all the time about doctrine. I always tell y'all that. We don't have to argue about doctrine. We don't have to argue back and forth between each other all the time. There are enough real life issues, real life things that we can talk about. And so if you can't find something to talk about, just hit me up. I'll give you some topics so you can stop talking about the same shit all the time. You know what I'm talking about? But the thing is that a lot of our people in sports, if you deal with sports, you guys will understand what I'm saying. You have to be coachable, right? There's not enough of us in this truth that are coachable. Meaning that there should be somebody that can come to you and speak truth to you, and you don't take it to heart because you know it's done out of love. The Bible says, am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? I've given people much counsel a lot of times, and people don't take the counsel because it's not what they want to hear. I'm going to do a whole road rage on this thing in Israel that goes on, shopping for counsel. I think that's going to be, maybe I'll do that one next Monday. I'm going to go in on that. So some of y'all ain't going to like what I'm about to say next Monday. You may not want to listen, because I'm going to go in on that. I need some more likes, by the way. I'm going to talk about people that shop for counsel. It's some of y'all that will bounce around to different people, the Bible says you're supposed to have one counselor. Amongst many, have one counselor. I done had people shopping for counsel. I'm talking about in my camp. You come to me, I tell you the truth, you don't like it. You go to another elder, he tells you the same thing, you don't like it. So you go to another elder, he tells you the same thing, you don't like it. So you leave the camp and go to another camp, and they give you the same advice, and you leave that camp. Yeah, that's happened. That's happened. Shopping for counsel. Huh? You want to divorce your husband, I tell you no. You don't have grounds according to the Bible. You don't like that. You jump to the next camp, no. Then you jump to the next camp, you know what I'm saying? They tell you yes. Now you got your answer. That answer didn't come from the Most High. You were shopping to look for somebody that probably just wanted to have numbers in their camp or whatever the hell they want to do. So they told you what you wanted to hear. Because believe me, when people see, we see you coming a mile away. So I already know when you come to me talking about you want counsel, I already know what you're looking for. You got an answer you're looking for. So the only thing I say to myself is, okay, when I tell you the truth, I'm going to see what you're going to do with it. I'm going to see what you're going to do with it. And 9 times out of 10, I could tell just by your facial expression if it's not what you want to hear. I already said to myself, me and the other elders, we have a good laugh. Like, he ain't gonna listen. He ain't gonna listen. And we just laugh because we know. You're gonna go shopping. You're gonna pull out your damn shopping bag and go shopping for counsel. Okay, I didn't like that. Let me ask somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? Yo, Israel is funny, man. I got to tell you, Israel is funny. You know? Right, Black Lion Yehuda said you be shopping for the soothsayer. These are facts, man. I'm trying to tell you. I done seen some crazy... I done seen people bounce to like 3-4 camps until they got the answer that they were looking for. I've seen people leave. They were what they call so-called messianic Israelites, meaning that you believe in Hamashiach Yahushua, and you will listen. I'm not lying. You will drop Yahushua to go deal with the Old Testament Israelites because the New Testament Israelites will not give you the counsel that you want. I've seen that. Because you could have, I'm not trying to go in on my brothers that's Torah only, but I'm just going to be honest. Over there, they don't enforce that thing that if you sleep with a sister, you got to really deal with her. They don't, you could have indiscriminate sex and a lot of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shalom. It's crazy, man. You could just do what you want to do. Just run amok. We had a sister in Israel. A lot of y'all know who she is. Man, the sister had, no exaggeration. This sister had like 5 husbands in a span of like 3 years. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those that know what I'm talking about. Why? Because she was shopping for counsel. And I remember that she got told by one particular congregation, they told her, man, this thing is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in on that. There's one dude, there's one guy, he was in our camp. I told y'all the story before, I'm gonna say it again. Most High judged that dude too. I'm not even gonna say what the Most High did to him, but the Most High was swift judgment, because the Most High says in Proverbs 6, the Most High said one of the 6 things he hates is somebody that sows discord between brethren. And I'll never forget, this is when Baloy was alive. You know what I'm saying? This brother that was in our camp, he was beating his wife. And so y'all say, oh, your brothers don't be dealing with it. Well, the brothers, listen, the brother was off and we dealt with it. We dealt with it so harshly that the brother left the camp. Because he didn't, y'all know how Bud Lawyer was. The judgment came down swift and you already know, right? The man left the camp and went and joined another camp and badmouthed us to the other camp. He didn't tell the camp that he beat his wife's ass, right? And the woman still wanted to stay with him. So we had to work that out. The sister still wanted to stay with the brother. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not gonna get into the whole, but she still wanted to be with him. But we like, brother, she want to be with you, she forgive you, that's well and good. But we don't forgive you till you have to go through this judgment first. And you got to prove that you know what I'm saying, you got to work your way back to, you got whatever. We dealt with the situation, right? We ain't just gonna let you off the hook because, you know what I'm saying, she is what they call that Stockholm syndrome that she might be going through at the moment. No, we're not letting you off the hook because she probably not thinking straight right now. So we're dealing with the situation. We're judging the matter. The man did not like the judgment because it was harsh, like it's supposed to be. So the man left our camp and ran to another camp, and these brothers accepted this These brothers accepted this dude in. Did not ask us why. That's another thing. Now y'all gonna have me going to something else. I'm gonna finish this story first. Did not ask us why the brother was out of our camp. Why? Because you want to have numbers. That's why. So you let his ass in, right? And the next thing I know, he's telling y'all some BS that did not happen, and you guys are making videos and cursing us out. And we let that slide. We didn't even respond. And you know what happened to that brother? That brother went back in the world. He didn't stay with y'all long. He went back in the world, and that was wicked what them brothers did. That was wicked as hell. But we let it slide. We didn't make no big deals. This is what I'm telling y'all about. Like, we don't get on social media. Half the time people talk about me and say shit. I don't even get on social media to address none of it. Because if you stupid enough to believe when somebody come telling you without asking me, then you gonna be an asshole all by yourself. I'm not gonna help you. But that is another problem. Now I don't want to get too deep off into that. We're gonna do this shopping. I got stories. We're gonna do the shopping for counsel thing next week. That's another problem. When people come to join, that's what I'm saying. People say, oh, it's not a matter. If I let everybody that wanted to join the camp, we would have a big ass camp. You know why I'm telling y'all, you know why I keep my camp small? It's not because there's not progress and everything. It's because we have a code of ethics in our camp. That alone weeds people out. The minute I show you the code of ethics and what we accept, what we don't accept, brothers have already looked at it and said, you know what, forget it. Forget it. Nope, I'm good. Because you know you're going to come in here and cause chaos. You already know. Or that was your intention, whatever, and you realize it's not happening. So you be like, forget it. When brothers come to us and say they want to get with us and you've been in another camp, we got a lot of questions for you. Why'd they put you out? Why did you leave? Whatever. Okay, we need to go over there and talk to those men before you come. Every camp is supposed to have that standard. But a lot of camps don't. You take somebody else's stray puppy into your camp just because you want to have a lot of members, and then you have problems later because you didn't ask questions. And a lot of times those men that bounce from camp to camp to camp don't stick because they wasn't right to begin with. And you as a leader, you're supposed to have discernment to know that. Like, yo, that should be one of your first questions. Hey, yo, bro, you been in any other camps? Yeah? What happened? Why you not over there no more? Same thing with the women. You've been in another camp? Why you not over there no more? Have you had a husband in another camp? How about that? And what happened with that? You gotta ask questions. That could cut down on a lot of the confusion that goes on in Israel, but no, it doesn't happen. Why? Because everybody's trying to swell their numbers to say that they're the best. Not us, though. Not us. I'm telling you, not us. Nope. I want as little chaos as possible. So I'm going to sit on the sidelines, let everybody else do what they do. I need quality only. That's it. Yeah, so we're going to have to talk about this shopping for counsel next week, because that's a thing. And I know some of the other elders that listen in, some of the other camp leaders, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all done gave people counsel too, and they just go looking for somebody else that's going to tell them what they want to hear. And the Most High, the ones you Israelites that do that, the Lord is going to judge you severely behind that. Anyway, I appreciate you brothers and sisters listening. This has been a shorter version of Road Rage because I started after I went to the drop zone. So I haven't been going for like 2 hours like I normally do, which is good. I could save my voice for once. Anyway, really quickly, just a couple of announcements. So tomorrow, I'm trying to do the cryptocurrency roundtable part 2. You guys know that YouTube got rid of the last one I did, copyright, whatever, they got rid of it. So I want to do part 2 tomorrow. I know there's 2 brothers that asked to be on. I'm probably going to bring back Elder Zahab. I'm probably going to bring back Joel. And I'm going to make an announcement on Facebook if anybody else, if you know about cryptocurrency and you can tell our people about it, break it down to the lowest common denominator to explain to our people what it is, because we know there's going to be a financial reset. If you can do that and you want to participate in the roundtable tomorrow, Lord willing, you can. Y'all know how to reach out to me. Even if you put it on a comment board, as long as I have a way of getting back to you, I will. I like a diverse a set of ideas on the channel, you know, because I even noticed that when we talk about cryptocurrency, everybody's bullish on a different one. Some brothers are bullish on XRP. Some brothers are bullish on Stellar. Some brothers are bullish on Ethereum. Some brothers are bullish on Bitcoin. So there's a diverse, different set of ideas when it comes to which coin to invest in, should you be investing into it. So it's good to have different perspectives so that brothers and sisters can see what's best for them. So if you have some knowledge on it and you want to come on, I'm hoping to do it tomorrow. I have to contact everybody that said that they wanted to do it, including some of the people that wanted the first one, to see if they want to come back. I do want to do it differently though, because the last time I did it, brothers was talking for like 30 minutes each straight. I need it to be more of an exchange. Yes, some of you guys were looking for it, but YouTube clipped the video. So I'm sorry about that, because I was getting messages from people saying that they wanted to go back and watch it. They like a second time because there was so much information, but YouTube clipped it. So I'm just gonna, instead of me I tried to reload the video, but YouTube wouldn't let me. It was struck down for copyright. So what's up, Sam? So I'm just gonna do a one from scratch. And I think too, I ain't gonna hold you, I felt some of the brothers on the panel was talking over people's heads, because they were talking over my head and I know about crypto. Some of the stuff they were saying, I was like, well, damn, I don't even know about that. You know what I mean? I think we should keep it real basic. And then we can continue the conversation if people are interested, and we can get more advanced. If it's something that, if I see that there's an interest in it, I will continue. On Wednesday, Most High will, I'm supposed to be having the brother Curtis Cost on the channel. He's the guy that did the documentary called Vaxxed, right? Now, I just want to say this, right? I'm not going back and forth about the subject with anybody. I've been very, very careful about what I've been saying about the situation. I think you guys know the word I've been using. The word I've been using, you guys know, is called discernment. And I'm telling brothers and sisters, if you just look and pay attention to what's going on in the world, watch what's going on mainstream media, yes, but also try to find alternative news media also, as far as what's going on with that, and make your decision based on all the information. And I think that if you look at all the information, you're gonna come to the back of the line with me to wait to see what the hell's gonna happen. That's all I can tell you, because I'm at the back with Donald Trump. Me and Orange 45, we at the back of the line watching everybody else. Simple as that. Nothing wrong with me. There's no reason for me to go. Simple as that, right? So I'm trying to have the brother on. The brother's very knowledgeable. Like I said, he did a documentary. He also debated the Amun-Ra squad on the subject, and I believe that they won that debate as well. So I'm gonna have him on, so you guys can get your questions up if you guys have any questions on that. And we'll see what else. We'll see what else that we can do this week. I'll probably do a live or two myself. Also, 2 last things. Make sure you brothers and sisters subscribe to the backup channel, which is Maccabeestv 2. Just you type in Maccabeestv space the number 2. I'll probably be doing, maybe if I have the energy on my way home today, I'll be doing a road rage on my way home. Just over there though, not over here. So most of you probably will miss it, because most of y'all have not yet gone over there to subscribe. That's on you. I'm trying to build up my content over there, because I feel like I'm trying to preserve this channel. So when I have some really strong things I want to say about, like the poison, the pandemic, when I want to talk a little bit more freely, even though it's still YouTube, I'm not so attached to that channel where if they strike it down, I'm going to have a big deal. You know what I'm saying? If they strike video, I don't really care. So I'd rather talk about this stuff over there, even if it's less of y'all over there. And I'll be a little more careful with what I say over here to try to preserve this channel for, you know, for the purposes that I try to use it for. So make sure you brothers and sisters go over and subscribe to Maccabeestv too. I've seen the subscribership go up because I've been telling y'all. But if you really, you know, if what I present to you is helpful to you brothers and sisters, and you know, then go over there because you'll get more of that over there than you will over here. Y'all can see over here I'm transitioning a little bit. I'm talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about marriages. I'm talking about different things. I'm still going to talk about the poison over here too, but just not as fervently as I will on the backup channel. Subscribe to Maccabeestv too. And if I don't go live while I'm driving home, when I get home, I'll probably go live on the backup channel as well. But I'm probably gonna go live one way or another this afternoon on the backup channel. All right. Last thing before I go, so the new academy is starting on this upcoming Sunday. I believe I've gotten back to everybody one way or another that's reached out to me. I keep saying it so that way there's no confusion later. If I did not get back to you, now is the time to speak up. But please put it on, you know, put it on the email me something and put like attention, urgent, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can email me. You can come in my inbox on Facebook if you're friends with me. If I haven't reached out to you, you guys can even leave your email on a comment board. I will email you from an email that you know it's me, right? And I'll reach out to you, whatever. If I missed you, I just want to make sure that I don't leave anybody out that wanted to participate. In the sooner the better too, because I have some things I gotta send you. So the sooner the better. But we're getting started this upcoming Sunday, and you guys know it's a 6 month thing. You know, we're gonna really delve really deep into a lot of scripture, a lot of history. You know, a lot of these PowerPoints that I have, and I have well over like 50, 60 PowerPoints prepared. So we're gonna go in. Just make sure you reach out to me, okay? With that being said, the Most High bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for listening. As always, I hope that you got something from the live. That's why I do them early in the morning every Monday, because this is by request. People have asked me. I didn't intend for this to be a series, but people asked me to do it. So if people ask me to do it, I do it. All right? People have even gone as far as asking me to play certain songs at the beginning of the show when I do the road rage. So if I get a request, I'll even play that song as long as it's not, nothing crazy. Somebody requested something from me this week, and I know I didn't play it because I forgot what it was. Don't kill me. Just remind me, and I'm going to write it down, and I'll play it next week, Monday, Lord allow. Which next week, Monday, is what, that's the 3rd? No, that's the 4th. Yeah. I'll play it next week, Monday, most I will. Okay? So peace and blessings, family. I'll see some of you guys on the backup channel this afternoon, whether it's when I'm driving home or when I get home. I will go live, even if it's for a short time, just to give y'all some content over there, because I haven't really kept up with the content over there. So I'll give y'all some content over there to make that channel a little bit stronger. All right? I'm out of here. Much love. Peace. Shalom. And hit the like button too, man. Stop playing. If you in my house and you have not hit the like button, you need to repent and believe the gospel. Love, family. Love your brother. Shalom.